97.9 The Box. Good morning, H-Town. Keisha Young Jas, live from your local Houston BMW Center Studios. Special guest, Mac. I'm going to let you introduce him because this is actually your buddy. This is your guy. The last time he was here, he brought you on stage.
Now, since you put it like that, a legend, a mogul, a kingpin,
a kingpin,
a Renaissance man, everything.
But you know what? So earlier this morning, Nick, we were talking about you, and I said, but y'all don't even understand. Y'all used to sleep on Nick Cannon bars because I was a Nick Cannon fan when he was a rapper.
I appreciate you. That's love right
and
there.
I said he can't rap no better than me.
We've
done this several. Just roll the tape. We got history of me bodying this dude.
We're not about to do that right now.
We're not even gonna talk about how you got up on that stage last summer and froze up. We cut Wildin' Out. We'll be back this summer. I'm gonna allow you to redeem yourself.
Okay, I can't wait.
But you better start preparing. I ain't gonna get. God bless you with that opportunity. And you ain't do nothing with it.
It's coming back this summer. I'm gonna be there. But you got some big business going down in the city.
Yeah. So you know how we did it. You know that we got. I'm on tour right now. But it's not Wildin' Out. It's not even about me. It's really about the community and giving opportunities. Kind of put my executive hat on. Myself, BET, and Vibe magazine kind of curated 10 amazing acts that are on the verge, that are already bubbling, that may got songs popping on TikTok, but you don't really know their face. You know what I mean? They do stuff in the space of TV or film, but their music career is just beginning. And it's really like, imagine if you got to see Beyonce's, and Destiny's Child when they was on their grind. Imagine you got to see Chris Brown's first tour, and we're doing that and documenting the whole thing. But at the same time, I wanted to connect with the community in the edutainment space to where before the show starts, we do superstar seminars, and we give people every city the opportunity to get these gems from industry, movers
Leaders.
and shakers. Yeah, and some inspiration at the same time. So it's kind of like we bringing a whole little music convention to every city on the road and documenting the whole process.
So you do that before the show. Our boy JQ he's one of the judges today.
Okay,
So
nice.
he's going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to JQ. Why though, Nick? Because you do everything, right? You can do everything, and you've done a great job at making sure you put out new artists or make us know who this new talent is when it comes to comedians. Like, why?
Too much is given, much is required. We blessed so we could be a blessing. If we even think about like why I created Wildin' Out, it was because I had some friends that was broke at the time and asked me for jobs, and they was, by the names of Kevin Hart and Cat Williams, and now they got more money than me. So it was an opportunity even back then. My mindset was like, I just want to put on for my people and for the culture. So I've kind of always had that in me, and then to see what that's even grown to because of the fact that I was just looking to give people shots that didn't have shots. And so even now, as we see this new generation, it's changed so much, especially in the space of music, because somebody can have a hit song and don't know what to do with it. It just went viral on TikTok, and then they didn't even get to build a career off of it because there was nobody there to help guide them and show them the process. So hopefully this helps in that space, but then it also brings it back to that energy of, the 106 in Parks and the Scream tours, and where the fans had an opportunity to be a part of the process and really connect. And that's where I feel like the difference is when it comes to, what we see on the regular, but every once in a while when you see a true new superstar. And hopefully I can help cultivate that.
Who on this tour? Anybody that?
Yeah, I mean we got Big Boss Vet who got the Pretty
dope.
Girl.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she popping. We got Hitman Holla from Wildin' Out. JD McQuarrie, who's one of the stars of The Lion King with Beyonce and Donald Glover. He was the voice of Simba, the young man with the amazing singing voice.
Okay.
Yeah. We got Simba. He's ill right now.
Simba's cold.
Yeah, he ill.
My God.
So
Simba's
all of these
cold.
young people are really like the next superstars. They the future of the game. So we got them rocking with us. And then there's a young lady actually from Houston.
Jilly, right? She's on there?
She's so fire.
Yeah.
Jilly is fire. And the thing was so dope to me about her is the fact that she's already a mogul in her own right.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like she built an empire, through social media, being an influencer and a creator. And she has an amazing talent. Like when you think about when you could check all of those boxes, I feel like she's gonna be the next big superstar.
I like that.
I really like Jilly too. And a lot of people don't. Once you have like that success on social media, people don't want to actually like do the footwork, right, or the groundwork. Back in the day, people would get in vans, come do interviews, get on stage. Like they're still doing the footwork. So it's super dope to see her. She's actually wanting to work to be that star and to be known as a singer, not just like an influencer. And she got a superstar boyfriend. Like she doesn't need all that. You know what I mean?
That's real
Deshaun
talk.
Watson, you know.
But it just shows how much she really wants it, and that's where, like, to me, when I had an opportunity to work with, I was like, oh, she gets it,
Right?
You know, because a lot of these people because she has success. So, and a lot of times, she's like, oh, I don't want to work that hard, but she's like, I want to work harder than everybody else just to show how bad I want it. So, you know, those are the ones that make it.
So much is required of you. Like, what do you do? Like, you don't have to. I can't imagine you have any downtime. But how do you like zen and just woosah because you don't have downtime?
Yeah.
What's she trying to say?
We know you have a lot of kids. We know you have a family. It's obvious, right?
That
but you
is
have
obvious.
so many different business ventures and you do so many things. How does Nick Cannon have time to himself to recharge to give so much to everybody else?
It's funny because everybody thinks it's time management, but it's energy management.
Really?
So it's about a spiritual bandwidth. You put the time in for the things that truly matter to you. So then you have to start to take inventory on what matters to you. So a lot of the things, especially there's a spirit of contamination sometimes that can overwhelm you, and we find ourselves like paying attention to stuff that doesn't matter. So when I'm calculating my day in the morning, like first of all, I get up before everyone else.
What time?
I mean, it sounds crazy, but I get up at like 2 a.m. But
when do you go to sleep? When do you go to sleep?
I'm like, I do morning radio.
Yeah.
So like, but I go to sleep. It's called the circadian clock. Dick Gregory taught me about it. So when the sun goes down, that's when you're supposed to go down. And then that's when your body truly rejuvenates. And then it's a natural clock that'll wake you up. So I don't even need an alarm clock or none of that. I'm up every morning.
I can't go to sleep at night, and
But
we wake up so early.
because we've trained ourselves when we allowed us so much stuff to keep us up, but your body just feel your body, especially after you eat dinner. Your body, you want to go to sleep, and it's supposed to happen when the sun goes down. There's a defense mechanism from our ancestors' days, so that's where your body actually does its best work. So by the time think about it, if I go down 7, 8 o'clock and I'm back up at 2, them still studio hours. I can still put So it's one of those things where, and if for me as a father, it helps because that's when my kids go to sleep. That's when they naturally go to sleep. So after they go to sleep, I go to sleep, back up at 2. Prayer, meditation, workout. By the time I'm cracking the mic at 6 a.m.
Now, speaking of that, how are you managing your lupus? I mean, you seem to be in good spirits. You seem to be moving great to me.
Yeah, now it's funny because we had just sold out Madison Square Garden on the 1st of December, and I was going hard, but wasn't doing everything I should have been doing. Like I was kind of, I was halfway doing everything, and I caught a flare up. And I think I caught pneumonia. And then lupus and pneumonia don't mix at all.
Yeah.
So I was in the hospital for a little bit, but that was just a quick reminder. Like, all right, let me get back to it. It was crazy. I lost like 30 pounds. Like, it was bad, but. That that was not even wasn't that long ago, but as soon as I got back right, you know what I mean, by the top of the year, I was back focused, eating right again, taking that time, getting that sleep that I need. So we back on it now. But lupus is just something that is almost like a constant reminder that you got to put yourself first. You got to put your health first. And like I said, I'm more health conscious now because of lupus than I ever would have been before.
How do you eat? You eat a certain way?
It's interesting because of what just recently happened. Like I've tried it all. I've been everything plant-based, vegan, all that. But my doctor's like, yo, your iron levels are so low. You got to start. I had to get back to the meat a little bit. Yeah. So and then you got to know your blood type and your body. Like
so that's
veganism,
important.
all that stuff.
It's
ain't
not
for
good
everybody.
for everybody's blood type, and everybody has to
Yeah.
understand what their blood type is. And there's a whole thing that you have to go by. Like they tell you, some people like you should be eating this amount much of meat.
Yeah.
But everybody's doing pescatarian and being
You got to do what's work for
You've
you.
been vegan all those years, and who knows, it might not go good with your blood type. But I was going to ask you about lupus because why does it seem like more black people get lupus, or am I just only hearing about black people getting lupus?
Well, it's actually black women.
Okay.
And women of color. And again, it's genetics. It's the way certain things are. If you ask me, and again, this is not I know no science behind it. I just go off of through my own process what they say because it's it's a stress-driven autoimmune condition. And based off of that, I mean, as we all know, you know, the black woman or even the woman of color, the ones that have been so downtrodden and overlooked in spaces, I feel like, and then having to internalize that throughout generations. If I was to give the spiritual answer, I would say that. But I think just the way a lot of, you know, our immune systems are set up, just based off of culturally, sometimes whatever that is. But that's why I had, even the condition itself has been overlooked for so long, because it's not affecting the masses. It's not affecting the people that actually, you know, push the buttons.
Yeah.
But even with my scenario, because my lupus was specifically diagnosed around my kidneys, and I was getting more attention for having, you know, kidney disease, but I was like, yo, that's the byproduct. Like, the lupus is what.
You have to figure out what the byproduct is.
So through that, you know, I always wanted to bring more awareness, because people really don't talk about it as much. So lupus definitely affects women more, and specifically women of color.
Speaking of women, happy Women's History Month, by the way. We deal with fibroids too as women. It's another thing that they'll tell you, like, oh, you'll be fine, it's okay. Like, I've gone through it so much, but I had to, like, really figure out what's good for me to eat. I had to figure out, like, because they'll say, no, it's not genetics, but my mom, my sister, everybody's had, like, I had a myomectomy, though, so they had a hysterectomy, right? So, like, but that messes you up also. It's just, like, so much that black people that we deal with from things that we've had to deal with, like, before we even got here. Yeah.
I mean, it's everything from, it's certain things that's just in our DNA, from sickle cell to, you know, it's just stuff that, as much as we want to say it's not about race, I mean, Big Pharma in itself, they know the difference. They know, you know, what to push and pedal on to what people, and, you know, I personally believe that, you know, when it comes to lupus and even sickle cell, there's been so many advances as of recently that, you know, we will continue as we get more and more black doctors and you know, people of color doctors. The stuff that really affects us and matters to us starts to get eradicated.
Now you got so much knowledge, man.
I can talk to Nick all day.
That you read.
I don't know much. I don't know much.
Give us 5 books, because you seem well read.
Look, yeah, I read 2 books every week. I mean,
how do you have time, Nick?
I mean, because I'm traveling, so that's, you know, like I'm definitely that dude that'll pick up the book in the airport or read it on the plane, you know. But the funny thing, I read books over and over
again. Okay, well, give us 3 of your best books. You keep reading over and over.
Yeah, I mean, man, that's so many. I will go to obviously Think and Grow Rich.
Okay, Napoleon.
Yeah. That's a classic. Constant, like, just the transmutation and all of that type of stuff that builds on. Trying to think, what did I just read this week? I constantly the Celestine Prophecies.
Oh yeah,
that's just a fun read. If anybody knows, it's about a lot of life principles that come from, you know, specifically even South America, where there was all of these scrolls and stuff that were ancient secrets that really are just principles of life. So it tells it like it's like a little action adventure story, but like every chapter is telling you how to walk properly. And then probably. Man, what's another one? I'll give you the third one. I'm trying to give you something that's real, that I'm really reading, that I feel like I'd probably have to say the Power of No. Yeah, that's
the Power of No.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a good one. I just checked that out as well. And then I do a lot of Buddhist and Hindu lectures. They do a lot of these
now, I haven't been on to that yet.
Yeah, now, I mean, it's the same. All of it come from the same space, you know what I mean?
Right.
Of just really the power of self, and whether you're talking about the prana energy or the Zen energy, it's just trying to operate and just be as peaceful as possible.
Okay, last question, because I know you got to get up out of here. Truly, though, because you're a working guy, what makes you happy, though? Like, what makes Nick Cannon happy?
Existence, contentment. You know what I mean? Because I've been through so much, it's like when you can wake up and get another shot at it each and every day, like, and doing for others at this point, I mean, and practicing as much compassion as possible, because you just got to have a joyful disposition. I think happy is temporary, but when you just wake up with joy and appreciative in that space of gratitude, that's what it's all about.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Nick Cannon.
No doubt.
Mac, you ain't gonna get your freestyle today, bro.
It ain't gonna happen.
I don't want to
today.
take him out.
We gonna save it for the big stage.
Wild and out. Y'all heard that? Yeah.
Where he fails and falls on his face every time.
Never.
But
It was
tonight-
a whole arena
Yeah, it
full of
was.
people,
We had
and
it
it
on
was
video.
crickets.
But you know what? It was nothing but love. I got nothing but love. I was a superstar that night.
Oh,
I went
fact.
to the
I mean-
restaurants. They was like, "Oh, that's your boy." I like, "Yeah, that's my boy."
Yeah, that's my brother right there. That's
Listen.
why we could joke like this.
Tonight, House of Blues, Nick Cannon. Make sure you pull up. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.